round 4 of the championship, the first of the 2 races to unfold this year at Mosport International Raceway. When the red lights go out, we are racing. There we go.
Taking a look from the touring car perspective, they started to mix it up at the back of the grid. Meanwhile, all of the cars from the GT category already through turn number 1 as they disappear over the hill.
And the Volvos lead them down through the exit of 1 and into the corner that many say is one of the most fearsome in all of road racing around the globe. Turn 2, double apex fall away, on board right now with Peter Cunningham.
As you can see here, there's 2 apexes, and it falls away to the outside the whole way down the hill. Over 120 miles an hour at the entrance as we see one of the cars falling victim to turn number 1. That is one of the Nissans.
Gathered it up, got very lucky. That was Steve Ott, but normally you go off there, it doesn't end well. Meanwhile now, down through turn 4, hard on the brakes, uphill turn in to Moss Hairpin. And a great start by Kuno Whitmer, tucked right in behind the 2 Volvos, Pat Lindsay, Jason Daskalos, and now here comes Cunningham, and Macquarie has made a great move in the Lotus.
Back in the touring cars, Robert Stout leads a bunch of cars, including Chip Herr, Rob Holland, and Eric Meyer just ahead there in the number 32 Mazda RX-8.
Back up into turn 8, a great corner, 9, and now into turn 10. Look at Popes, that Volvo dancing in between 9 and 10, trying to get back over to the left side of the track. Tom, that sequence of corners is such fun to watch.
And there's a lot of fans that line up there every weekend to watch it. Meanwhile, we go back to the Volvos. These all-wheel drive, 5-cylinder turbocharged S60s, perfectly suited to the environs here at Mosport. Look at Kuno Whitmer now, starting to make up room in the back of the Volvos. And of course, this race very, very important to the Canadian.
Absolutely it is, and he has got it gassed, making the run up through the pack, going back through the field right now, looking for some of the other great battles. And he just had a shot there of John Heinrichsey, and boy, what a return to World Challenge he's making.
John Heinrichsey hasn't been around in a while, but they figured out that this Corvette would be a great GTS entry. As you can see, it has no wing on the back of it, but John Heinrichsey definitely knows his way around here, and he knows this Phoenix Racing Corvette as well.
Meanwhile, watching Randy Popes do what Randy does so well, and that's get out front in these K-Pax Volvos and lead away. Andy Pilgrim in second, but there you see Whitmer in that red and white Viper. That is from Viper or Dodge Motorsports and Woodhouse Performance Group, and he is really starting to reel in Andy Pilgrim just a little bit. And here's, you can see how quick Pilgrim gets the launch with that all-wheel drive out of Moss, but then you get into about this part of the track, and this is where Kuno starts to really come alive in that big V10.
All that displacement makes a lot of torque coming off the corner, but it also makes a lot of horsepower at the end of the straightaway. There's a look at Chip Herr doing battle with Eric Meyer, able to get by him, and now putting the assault on the number 36 car. That's Lepper.
On board, watch right now, working the outside.
You can't do that. But Chip Herr didn't get the memo. You can't make a pass on the outside of turn number 4, but Chip Herr made it look easy.
A lot has unfolded in round 4 here at Mosport. Here's a look at some of the action in round 7. Peter Cunningham got a great run onto the front straight, went by the Lotus of Tyler Macquarie, while some superb battling in the touring cars. Lap 18, right there is Stout, then Chip Herr, then Stout's teammate Tom Lepper, the Scion TC sandwiching the Irish Mike's VW, and as they exit turn 3, down through turn 4, big development coming up here into Moss Hairpin. First right, watch there, Stout carries too much speed in. Underneath goes Chip Herr, and Lepper sneaks through as well. That can happen at Moss. One misstep, you can lose 2 spots. The lead into third, and take another look at some action. This now back up into the GTS division. Remember Tyler Macquarie in that Lotus, tucked right into the draft of that Acura. On board with Petey Cunningham, and there he goes around the outside. Can Petey get down underneath and take it back? No. Macquarie comes across the outside in turn 8, and that's one of those magic things in turn 8. You can run that wide entry there and make it work if you've got bravado.
But that was nuts. Now on board with Randy Popes, as you can see him catching up to lap traffic, just happens to be John Heinrichsey. These guys have spent a lot of time and a lot of tracks together. John Heinrichsey won't make it easy, but he's also not going to make it hard. Opens up the door, Popes goes right down the inside of 3.
Again, yeah, 2 class leaders right there. Popes overall, and in GT, Heinrichsey in GTS. He got the jump at the start, got in front of Petey Cunningham on that opening lap, and that was pretty much it. And Randy Popes, this Volvo is absolutely hooked up right now. The K-Pax crew, Will Moody, getting that car set up beautifully, and few can pedal it as well as Randy Popes. Love these onboard shots, working Moss hairpin, and now the blast up the Andretti straight.
Yeah, those Toyota R888 tires really working well here at Mosport. Unbelievable grip in Moss Corner. You can see backwards to Kuno Whitmer doing his best to try to keep up, but Randy Popes definitely in the zone here at Mosport.
And this straight, not only a mile long and winding, it's a significant elevation change you're dealing with as well.
You go up 3 big steps, and it really takes horsepower, and that's one of the things that Randy's got going for him in this turbocharged car. There goes Whitmer down the inside of turn number 9, and they go side by side. That's one of the things about racing with John Heinrichsey. He is such a professional. He's always going to give you the room you need, and he knows this battle has nothing to do with him.
And that is Kuno Whitmer we talked about, now running in second. He got around Andy Pilgrim and now sits in that second spot. Meanwhile, the battle in the touring car division continues, and this is now Chip Herr in the Irish Mike's VW, but look how close Tom Lepper is all over the back in that DG Spec Scion. These two have been like this in lockstep for a few laps now, and what a great battle.
Tom Lepper doing a great job in this Scion, shares the car with Don Gardner, and in this one-off race for him, looking very sporty as he goes down the outside of Chip Herr. This is not going to be easy, Greg.
Well, it looked like what he was trying to do was take a little bit of a draft. Oh, and he's got in the marbles. Bit of a wiggle there. And that's the downside of trying that big outside move in turn 8. If you get too far out, you get over in the marbles and the debris out there. And fortunately, that Scion able to just hunker down and get through that corner. But I think he was trying to steal just a little bit of a toe off of Tony Gapel's black Corvette as he went whistling past. But that's a lot of speed differential. Just wasn't able to make it work.
Chip Herr knows his way around here, and he's very happy to give Tom Lepper all of the opportunities on the outside of the fast corners. More than happy to give him an opportunity here on the outside of 2.
Yeah, anytime you want to try and pass me on the outside of 2, feel free. That takes some very special gifts to be able to make that one work. And you can see that Gaples dropped a tire through the exit of 1, pushing very hard, having a great race here today in that Kleinschmidt Corvette. Meanwhile, there goes Popst, and you can see now a couple of lap cars between he and Whitmer. And the guys at Brass Monkey Racing and that GTR came up here. They had some serious work done on the car to get those cooling issues they were dealing with under control. But as you can see now is a bit of a wild ride. Once again, the 96 is Steve Ott, this time off on the other side of the track down at the exit of turn 2. That reliability and allowing these cars just to hammer some laps, they're finding some handling issues.
Yeah, Brass Monkey Racing definitely knows how to do it, as you can see, as evidenced last year with Tony Rivera's ride in the Porsche. They've got the overheating problems sorted out with the transmission and the engine. Now they're starting to deal with handling problems.
And we are on our white flag lap, by the way, so I want to update you on that. And there is Popst working that traffic. And there's the differential back to Cooner. And Randy, I love these onboard shots because you're in the middle of 3 cars, 3 different classes, just dicing it around and just so calm, so relaxed, just working the problem, as they say. And Randy Popst, he knows right now not to force the issue on Fred Roberts, that he'll be able to get through. And he's got that protection behind. There is Whitmer as they come up and across the front straight. Randy Popst on the gas, picks up the checkered flag. Randy nails another win here this season.
K-Pax Racing guys definitely enthused about that. Here's your touring car finish. Tom Lepper taking one good run down the Andretti straightaway. They'll take a look down the inside of turn number 8. And of course, Chip Herr not going to give that up easily. Through turn 9 and on their way to White's Corner onto the front straightaway. Tom Lepper's last chance here. Will he actually use the chrome horn? No, keeps it clean and over the start-finish line. Chip Herr picks up another victory here at Mosport Park.
Boy, when Chip makes a return to a series, he does it in impressive style. Nice job there. And as Popst is on the cool-off lap, also in the GTS division, John Heinrichsey brought that Torvec Phoenix Performance Hawk Corvette through for the win. As I said, got the jump on Petey Cunningham, got around him on the second lap, and was able to drive it home for the win. So let's take a look at the results. Popst, Whitmer, and Lindsay, a great drive. And we take a look at the GTS and TC classes. Note that -2, -3, that's laps to the overall race winner. But Heinrichsey, McQuarrie, and Cunningham a good battle. In TC, Chip Herr's margin of victory, 0.2 of a second. Randy Popst climbs out of that Volvo, his 100th World Challenge start, 24 career wins.